Micronesia was settled by several phases of human migration between 1500 BCE to 1000 CE. Pulan. And to understand the settlement pattern of Micronesia, we must start with the Austronesian expansion from Taiwan into island Southeast Asia beginning about 4,000 years ago. Austronesian speakers from island Southeast Asia settled the Marianas around 1500 BCE. About 500 years later, Palau was also settled from island Southeast Asia. The other islands in Micronesia would not be settled for another 1,000 years. And the likely explanation is that the sea level at that time was 6 feet higher than it is today. Thus, except for the high islands, the islands in Micronesia were either submerged underwater or unsuited for inhabitation. So what happened during the 1,000-year pause? We must go back to the Austronesians who settled the Bismarck archipelago around or a little after 1500 BCE. The newly arrived Austronesian speakers of East Asian ancestry culturally mixed with the older Papuan population, forming the Lapita cultural complex. Between 1200 to 900 BCE, the Lapita settled the Solomons, Vanuatu, all the way to Samoa and Tonga. For the next hundreds of years, there was heavy genetic mixing between the East Asian Austronesian speakers and the Papuans in the Solomons Vanuatu area. Finally, roughly between 100 BCE to 200 CE, the sea levels lowered to modern-day levels, allowing human inhabitation of the hundreds of Micronesian islands. From the Solomons Vanuatu area, Austronesian speakers journeyed to settle Kiribati, Nauru, the Marshalls, and the Central Eastern Carolines, likely in several migrational waves. Yap was settled directly from the Bismarck archipelago, probably the Admiralty Islands around 50 BCE or possibly earlier. While the exact settlement order for the islands is still unclear, it is likely that only some of the islands in Kiribati, the Marshalls, and the high islands in the Carolines were initially settled, and slowly over the next 1,000 years, the rest of the low-lying islands would be settled. The final phase of human migration in Micronesia occurred around 1000 CE. Peoples from Polynesia settled the islands of Nukoro and Kapingamarangi. These islands are considered Polynesian outliers. This concludes the settlement pattern of Micronesia. In summary, the Marianas and Palau were settled directly from island Southeast Asia around 1500 to 1000 BCE. Kiribati, Nauru, the Marshalls, and the Central Eastern Carolines were settled from the Solomons Vanuatu area roughly between 100 BCE to 200 CE. Yap was settled from the Bismarck archipelago around 50 BCE or earlier, and the Polynesian outliers, Nukoro and Kapingamarangi, were settled by Polynesians around 1000 CE. Sidzus Masi for watching. Pulan, Esta.